Health and wellness are a big industry in this day and in this age, and for the right reasons. Because as we are learning more and more to automate things and to take care of our technologies and so on and so forth, there is one thing that comes and circles back to us, and that is our wellness, our health, and our vitality. You know why? Because you can have all the technological advancement that you have, but you need the human to be creative. You need the human to do his purpose. You need the human to basically make things to keep moving. If you are afraid of the robot world or the artificial intelligence, let me just put you to some rest here. You don't need to be, afraid of the invasion of the robots, because without man on earth, nothing happens. Which means that your body and my health and your health and our wellness and our vitality, they are one of the most critical aspects of life. And so today we come to close of this series. We have been talking about the importance of wellness and health and vitality in your purpose pursuit.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
So if you look carefully, you notice that if you just have a stomach upset, the rest of your day is messed up. If you just have some pain maybe in your toe or something like that, the rest of your day is messed up. Even your sleep is messed up. As in, your productivity is messed up and so on and so forth. Your body is critical to your life here on earth. You cannot enjoy life. People normally say, I want to make it in life. I want to enjoy my life. You're not going to do it without a healthy body. You're not going to enjoy your work without a healthy body. You're not going to be productive without a healthy body. You're not going to do your life's work and your calling without a healthy body. And guess what? A healthy body is not necessarily some divine intervention kind of a thing. Of course, when we are sick and when we need a miracle, we've seen time and time again that there's divine intervention which has its place. But before that divine intervention comes, there is divine health. And that divine health calls for our participation. It calls for my intentionality. It calls for me to have a menu and a plan for my health. It is not an arbitrary, it's not something that's going to happen by itself. Divine health actually is something that we bring to ourselves by our behaviors, by our lifestyle, having good choices in terms of what we eat, how we sleep, and so on, and how we work and how we rest and how much water we drink and how much checkups we do and, blood sugar. All those things are not things that we're supposed to do when things have gone haywire. These are things we're supposed to be intentional about, because we know that the body is the fuel for the spirit, and the body is the fuel for vision and purpose and calling. There is nobody who has ever done their vision, their mission, their purpose, their calling, their life's work outside of the body. In fact, you get rid of the body, you get rid of the purpose. Simple as that. If your body is on the bed being treated, is your purpose being accomplished? No, it's not. So we see that divine health is important for our purpose to be expended. And divine health is not just a one-way traffic, that's something that is just being bestowed by God. It is something that we also participate in. For example, if we decide to, let's say, be smoking, we know what even the tobacco industry, it tells us cigarette smoking is harmful to your health. They put it in small print on every cigarette box that they sell. We know that. We know that alcohol consumption, we've known it for quite a while. It kills some cells in the brain, don't we? We know that. But you cannot expect you to do those things and then call for divine health. In the flip side of the thing is that if you stay away from the cigarettes, stay away from the alcohol, you do your exercises, you drink your water, you eat properly, you are participating in the divine health. That's it. And the divine health is needed because the purpose has to be done. Your purpose needs you to have good energy, extra energy actually. And this extra energy doesn't come from you doing a lot of work and so on and injecting some drugs into your system. It comes from you taking care of your health and vitality and metabolism and exercise and eating and resting and all these things, so that you can be able to do your life's work. Mahatma Gandhi, of course, said that it is health that is a real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. These pieces of gold and silver, do you know where they come from? They come from work. We do something, we add value to this world, and then gold and silver come. And we do add value to this world because we're doing our purpose. So purpose precedes the gold and the silver. But the body and the health of the body precedes the purpose. Like I've said, you will not do your purpose outside of your body. Never. No one has ever done that. Health is a relationship between you and your body. Someone called Terry Guillemets said that health is a relationship between you and your body. You are in the driver's seat as far as your health is concerned, unless you're born with some kind of defects. Maybe you're born with some kind of hereditary diseases like anemia, sickle cell anemia, and something like that. But as much as it is up to you, you are concerned for your health. And we've said, every time we talk about health, people are always thinking about the body alone. But increasingly, even as I speak today, the Olympics have just ended. And you know what happened in the Olympics? One of the biggest award-winning athlete, a gymnast called, forgotten her name, the name is so common. You know her, Simone Biles, I think. She withdrew from some of the competitions, citing her mental health. Health is not just physical. It is mental, it is emotional, it is physical, and it is spiritual. All those 4 dimensions have got to be top notch. If you're drawing a circle and the 4 corners of that circle, 4 corners, whatever, the 4 pillars of that circle, they are the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the mental. If one goes wrong, one spoke of the circle goes wrong, guess what? It's no longer round, it's no longer complete. And something that is not whole, something that's not complete, cannot serve its purpose as it was intended. Wellness is a connection of paths, knowledge and action. Those 2 paths. Your knowledge of your physical health, your knowledge of your mental health, your knowledge of your emotional health, and your knowledge of your spiritual health. They are needed for you to be able to have complete health. This is important for all of us, and therefore we need to put these things into perspective. A lot has been said about physical health. A lot is being said, even as we speak today, increasingly about mental health. You have no idea how many people are suffering mental diseases in the world today, because for the most part we are always treating the things that we can be able to see. The blood is oozing from there, and if someone has fever and we can measure the temperature, but you cannot measure the mental health. And for the most part, the mental health that is being treated is for the guys who have severe of it. Maybe they have lost their mind and so on and so forth. We think that that's, they have run mad. But even before they get there are very many of us who are having issues with our work, issues with our families, issues with our relationships, issues with our hopes, issues with our vision, issues with our calling, issues with our purpose, issues with our morality, issues with our values that are affecting our mental health. And let me tell you, as long as your mental health is not solved or it's not taken care of, even mental health, by the way, even as I've talked about the physical health being something that you are in charge of, mental health is also something that you're supposed to be in charge of. In other words, you're supposed to put yourself in situations where your mental health is not compromised. And if your mental health is compromised, it is not, a bad thing to seek help. People think that when I go see a shrink, Americans normally call them a shrink or a psychiatrist. Those guys are very important in our lives because they're able to guide us. Or even a counselor or a pastor or whatever, a religious person. They are very critical. People normally make fun of church and so on and so forth. You wait until church is not happening and you see the increase in domestic violence, increase in mental health diseases. In fact, a lot of awareness has come about mental health when COVID-19 sent all the churches closed. People are no longer talking to their spiritual leaders and so on, and therefore those issues are increasing. So mental health is as important as physical health. And don't think that it is only for the bazungus, white people, the Europeans that are, encumbered with mental health. No. Everyone who is a human being can have stress enough to affect their health mentally. And sometimes you can be able to see the ramifications of mental health probably in some kind of signs on people. The loss of weight. They are eating but they are not gaining weight. Or maybe skin rashes and so on and so forth. Or maybe they just are aloof from life. If your mental health is compromised, you cannot fulfill your purpose. You cannot fulfill your life's work. You cannot fulfill your calling. You cannot be productive when your mental health is compromised. And that's why it's important, even if you're a boss, to make sure that you're not stressing people. This traditional boss from slave master, slave mentality, relationship, it needs to get away because it's affecting people's brains, people's mental health. If you think that you're being a boss and you're just bossing around people, you are doing yourself a great disservice, because at the end of the day, people who are stressed don't produce. Pressure doesn't make people produce, especially negative pressure. What you're going to have is very many people resigning and just getting a better job, and maybe celebrating once they get a better job and they leave you, and telling other people that you're a bad employer and so on. Your relationship with your employees is extremely important to put them at ease. And I'm not saying you just accept excuses like a bicycle thing. Those ones who do not produce, of course, they are not supposed to be kept on the bill or on the payroll. They're supposed to be put to task and to produce. But you're not supposed to do it in such a way that compromises their mental health and their physical health and so on and so forth. Spiritual, emotional health are also important. Those are things that we do not see. We do not feel them. Okay, we can feel them, yes, but we seldom. Have you ever seen a clinic that is taking care of emotional and spiritual issues? You might consider it woo, but it is increasingly becoming important, because if your spirit and your emotions are not intact, they are not in place, guess what? Your purpose, your calling, your work, your productivity, your life's work, it is not going to be accomplished well. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. That's an Arabian proverb, and it's absolutely true. And the health I am discussing here is not just physical health. He who has physical health, he who has emotional health, he who has spiritual health, he who has mental health has hope. And he who has hope has everything. So we come to a close of all this, discussions we've been doing here. And remember, I'm not a medical scientific guy, but I just know one thing, that your body is important for your purpose and for your productivity to be fulfilled. Without your body, guess what? Nothing happens. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. That is a quote by the World Health Organization. I hope you take care of yourself, and I will see you as you keep pursuing your vision, your purpose, and doing your life's work.
Thank you
All
for
the best.
listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.